And welcome to another live stream of Dots and Lines. It's Grayson right here with some stuff that I want to talk about because we weren't able to get to it on episode 53. How y'all doing tonight? How y'all feeling? I'm feeling great. Just got done editing an episode and making sure that we don't egregiously get ourselves banned from YouTube forever. No, I feel good though. I feel good. A lot of comic news happened within the past couple of days. They had a big Comics Pro Summit where big publishers, DC, Image, Marvel, so on and so forth, shared with retailers what's going to be coming down the pipeline. And there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline. Let's start with DC. Absolute just keeps booming. They've done a million things right. Looks like they're going to do a million more. I'm really excited for this. This Absolute Catwoman run with Shea Grayson. Buddy. First off, the art looks great, per the usual. It's going to be a mini series, and I don't know. I kind of want to see what the hell Selena's does when she's not pounding around with Bruce being a baddie. We see the mask that looks like the Black Mask stuff. We also see that she's like definitely a thief and definitely up to some illegal activities. I don't know. This character's just steeped in mystery, and it's weird because it's not weird. In DC, in Absolute Universe, there's just a whole bunch of things we don't know because the universe is so new. But it just feels like she should be so much more of a part of Bruce's life. But we're following Bruce's story. He clearly Scott Snyder doesn't want any sidekicks or any major distractions. We got to flesh out Bruce and how he moves through the world a little bit more before we get anything else on a day-to-day basis. But man, I can't wait for this book. I want to know more about her. I want to know what she's been up to. I want to know what she's doing with that vial of venom that she had at the end of the Bane run. Who is she selling that to? What's she doing? Does she work with the Joker? What's what with what? And then we also got some cool interiors. Nice. Yeah, the art looks great. I can't wait to read it. Can't wait to engage with it. Can't wait to consume it. But I will say, as excited as I am for that, the stuff going on in Green Arrow. Whew. First off, let's take a look at Dinah. A muscle mommy. That is right. That is Dinah Lance. That is, as we all know, Black Canary. Absolute Black Canary is a bodyguard, which is like a callback to what she used to be back in the day in old DC continuity. Essentially hunting down whoever's under the mask of Green Arrow. Green Arrow in this universe, because Ollie's dead, because he got killed during, spoilers, absolute evil. Whoever's under the mask is running around hunting corrupt billionaires. Shout out to Luigi Mangione. No shout out to he murdered somebody. Cool. But he's taking down corrupt billionaires, and Dinah has been hired to try to figure out what's what with what and take him down. I don't know. Listen, I'm excited. I'm super excited. I really want to know who's behind the mask. I actually hope it's not Ollie. Like, I hope that it's like Roy or somebody, maybe Connor. I don't know. This would be a great opportunity to have someone else behind the mask and, I don't know, build a different type of story. Because when they introduced Ollie, he was the most like his mainline counterpart. And I thought that was cool. I thought they were like, oh, well, having something that seems familiar, it wouldn't be that bad, right? I mean, everything else is wildly different, so it's cool to have something the same. Nope. Took him out immediately. Hawkman bludgeoned him and threw him across the desk of a whole bunch of corrupt billionaires, and he's been dead ever since. But if they have him come back to life, that kind of would cheapen that really shocking moment, which I don't want. I think Absolute's been really good with their integrity so far, as technically an Elseworlds line. And also, dog, seeing Connor Hawk run around being murderous badass, because I just haven't seen that. That'd be kind of cool to see. I don't know. I feel like it'd be too on the nose if it was Roy, because he was on the phone with Ollie like right before he died. I kind of want to see him not have to be Green Arrow, come through and just start off his arsenal, you know? I don't know. I also got to say, this design for Black Canary is badass. Don't get me wrong, I love me some fishnets, but she looks like someone I don't want to fuck with. And that's intriguing to me, you know? The subversions that they do with Absolute have been nothing but a joy. It's supposed to be a 6-issue miniseries, and there is potential that it's going to be more. You know, Scott Snyder is hyping this up. I literally am looking at tweets that this book is so fucking good, I can't even say. And he knows a thing or two about having a good Absolute book right now. Not to mention, there is a distinct possibility that we might get more than just a 6-issue miniseries. He tweeted earlier on, it's not only if sales are good, sales are already projected to be really good on both the new Absolute series, talking about, you know, Absolute Catwoman as well. It's also just how the creators feel and what they want to do. Again, we would have extended Martian Manhunter, but the team has amazing new plans. So yeah, dog, if and only if the creative team behind Absolute Green Lantern wants to keep going, we'll get new shit from Absolute Green Lantern. And I really respect that. You know, it's being ran almost like an indie company, even though it's definitely DC, and DC definitely has all control over the IP. They have the final say. Like, people are coming in and out as they please, as long as they have a complete story. As a comic book fan, I can't argue with that. Like, yeah, of course I want my stories to go on forever, but if we reach a natural conclusion with a character, end it. I'm cool with that. I'll touch him in mainline, whatever. All good. I don't know. But I really would like to see that shit get extended. But yeah, we also got a whole bunch of Marvel stuff to talk about. We have been teased by Chip Zdarsky about a whole bunch of stuff leading into this Armageddon event. And it looks like we're finally getting some real information on that. It's not Armageddon, it's Avengers Armageddon. And I really like who they have on the cover here. Hold on. So I'm pulling up the image right now, but the team and the antagonist, it looks sick. Even though Chip Zdarsky is writing Captain America right now, which I really need to read, I hear it's fucking amazing. They've got Sam Wilson Cap up here as the main Captain America in this image. And it looks like they also got Wolverine, and let me just pull up this image. God damn it. Y'all gonna see what I'm seeing, damn it. Yeah, they got Cap. They got Captain Marvel. Hey, yo, God bless Captain Marvel fans. I know y'all hurting. Where is this damn image? Just here. Whatever, I'll find it in a second. But yeah, this shit looks really cool. I'm pretty excited for it. And apparently, this is going to be what's going to launch the next era of Marvel. So there's a definitive plan. As soon as Chip Zdarsky, as soon as he came back, he was like, "All right, we about to do some things differently here." And sure enough, they're doing things differently here. Here we go. Boom. Right here. Yeah, so we've got Red Hulk. Apparently, he's going to be the main villain of this, which is cool. Spider-Man, Wolverine, Iron Man, and I'm loving to see. I'm going to see some Fantastic Four representation here. We got our girl Sue Storm, Vision. This looks like a badass team, but them actually fighting Red Hulk like warms my heart. People complain about Red Hulk being like a Hulk villain, but I don't give a shit. Like, I mean, technically, yeah, but he fought Hulk. I mean, damn near 20 years ago, and it hasn't really affected their relationship since. Like Thaddeus Ross isn't still chasing after Bruce Banner. You know, he's not doesn't have some crazy vendetta over his daughter right now. If you guys remember in the Immortal Hulk run, he said he didn't want to hunt him anymore because, you know, it's my son-in-law. You know what I'm saying? Like that beef is dead. So yeah, let him fight someone else. Let him be a main antagonist for someone else because he's a cool villain. He's or antagonist, whatever you want to call him. He is quite literally the embodiment of American military industrial complex that has gotten so hot and so toxic that it's melting and harming the things around him with an uncontrollable rage. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's actually something that I want to see Captain America fight against. I saw Brave New World and I liked it. People tell me it was a horrible movie. I was like, I don't know. It seemed pretty standard for Marvel. But the new popular things hate everything Marvel does now, so cool. Yeah. I also want to see what the hell's going on with these origin boxes and everything else with the Ultimate Universe. Because everything they've got going on in the Ultimate Universe is starting to melt in to what's going on in the main line. Let's pull up some images because this was kind of crazy. So it's going to be called Ultimate Impact. And it's all, we got news of this a couple months ago, but it's just weird to me because Marvel was so dead set on this is the end of this Ultimate Universe, which is cool. I mean, I didn't want that. I didn't want it to end, but y'all wanted to end because y'all had such crazy ideas. Okay, cool. Then you guys tell us it's going to end, tell us it's going to end, tell us it's going to end, just for you to bring it back kind of, sort of. Like, I don't know, that's such a weird break in the chain of your story. Who does that help? I got to read it before I have a real true opinion, but I don't know. Like, why would you diminish the line just to bring it right back? Why not just continue the story? You know what I mean? And from what I understand, a lot of creators thought that the story was going to end as well, so that's how they're writing it. Like Peach Valonqua, who's writing Ultimate X-Men, is like saying her sweet goodbyes and wrapping up stories way quicker than she would have if she didn't have to be forced by Marvel to do something else. I don't know. But I will say, the covers look kind of cool. Covers look kind of cool. We got Spidey in front of like what looks like the old school Ultimates, which is weird, but I'm digging it. Miles Morales Spidey to be exact. And you know, let me pull these things up. Like I said, we got Spidey in this bit. Looking straight out of 2002. I don't know who that character is behind him, but whatever. We still have Ultimate Endgame going on right now. So I guess it's kind of I don't know that, you know what? I'll be fair to Marvel. This doesn't confirm or deny anything because that is not the same Iron Man that's in our Ultimate Universe right now, and that really doesn't look like the same Cap. And Miles Morales is not even touching that universe right now. He's in mainline with this book that just wrapped. We cool. But we also are getting alternate versions of different characters, which I'm excited about. I hope you guys watch Wonder Man. We swore we were going to talk about it and then just like didn't because too much other stuff popped up. Everyone here at Dots and Lines loved it. And I'm excited for this because we're going to get at least black version of Wonder Man. I would not have given a shit about this a month ago, but I just watched that Wonder Man series on Disney Plus, so I'm all for it. That shit was great. We loved it. It surpassed all my expectations. I had no idea that I could like Wonder Man so much because like he just was always so boring in every comic I've ever read. You know what I mean? People are complaining about his cut. Listen, niggas be swooping their hair to the side sometimes. Maybe he's just running funny. I don't know. I don't care. I want to see what the character's like. Give him his ionic powers, whatever. Blah, 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 blah. If it is anything like what they did in the most recent show, if they took any inspiration, I'm here for 1,000%. That shit was good. That shit was real good. I hope that they do it justice. Let's read the solicit here. See what the hell they're talking about. The Ultimate Universe's legacy lives on. Could have sworn it was going to end. Miles Morales returned from the Ultimate Universe with a plan: safeguard the origin boxes, catalyst for the creation of new superheroes before they fall into the wrong hands. But the secret is out as Miles' battle over the boxes engulfs the entire Marvel universe. This May, Chris Condon, who wrote Ultimate Wolverine, which people have feelings about, and Stefano Caselli, which was a great artist. I love what he did with the Ultimate Black Panther. Team up to create stunning and unforgettable new characters on both sides of a conflict that will shape the future of the 616. Cool. That's what's up. Again, I don't know why they made such a big fuss about the Ultimate Universe ending if you're just going to bring a whole bunch of elements of it into the main line. I mean, cool, whatever. Let the end be the end, but like I said, better things to do. I don't know. I just feel like I got to read this story to have a true opinion. My gut instinct is just telling me though, like they had their own story over here. I loved the Ultimate Black Panther. There was a lot of parts of Ultimate Spider-Man I really, really liked. Ultimates is great. You know, they were doing this whole thing over here. Why not let that grow? I know for a fact Ultimate Spider-Man was doing well. I know that for a fact. You know, Ultimates, I don't know how well it's doing, but every time an issue comes out, I can't escape it. So there's some interest, you know. There isn't even, is there an ongoing Black Panther book in Marvel right now? Because I know they had an ongoing in Ultimates. So there was some interest there. I don't know. I'll never understand their handling of the ending of the Ultimate Universe so abruptly. Like they just had to absolutely end it at 24. They had to end in 2 years. Like, even if the sales are good, like, whatever. Back over to DC. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through all this, but for the mainline stuff, we already know Lobo's coming out. We know Firestorm's coming out. We know Zatanna's coming out. We know Barbara Gordon. Actually, I don't think we talked about Barbara Gordon. Barbara Gordon Breakout. It's going to be a cool thing where Barbara Gordon like breaks out of a max security jail. That's going to be interesting to see. Then we have the Dead Man comic, which is going to be interesting. I'm really interested in this new Teen Titans book, though. Be honest with you, I haven't read Teen Titans in a long time. Sorry if I've been out the loop. I've been out for a while, But Kyle Higgins and Danielle De Nicolio, I apologize, this summer they're coming out with a new Teen Titans book. And this roster looks fire. Just aesthetically, it looks fire. But then you add in the caveat of our big sad boy in red. Jason Todd is going to be on the Teen Titans. What? Jason Todd's going to be playing Den Mother real quick? What are we doing here? Like, who okayed this? I don't care who okayed this. It's a great idea. Listen, this team looks really good. First off, you've got a whole bunch of legacy characters. You've got Mr. Terrific's son, who was just in that DCKO, The Kids Are All Fight. You got Flatline. You've got Red Arrow's daughter. Who are these other two characters? I don't know. One looks like Naruto, just emo. One looks like Yuji, just not completely depressed from the culling games and Shibuya incident. And you know what I like about this? It looks real youthful. It looks like these are actual teens. You know what I mean? It looks like some people with something to prove. I like that youthful energy. It really, I don't know. I feel like if they do this right, it could be something that maybe like the next generation can glom onto. Because, you know, I'm a child of the 90s. I grew up watching Teen Titans, like the original one before Go. I read the Jeff Johns run for the most part. Like, that stuff is great, and I'm always going to hold it dear to my heart, but it's time to let some other kids have some other iconic iterations for them, you know? Let some generational imprinting happen. And I also think that Mr. Terrific's son's drip is fire. That suit that he had on in The Kids Are All Fight special was cool or whatever, but this is fire. Like, I would actually wear that. And I want to know what dynamic Jason Todd is going to have with the team. Like, if you guys remember, the first time he interacted with Teen Titans, he kind of jumped them all and beat the shit out of Tim Drake to prove to himself, like internally, that he's like, I deserved all this. I'm paraphrasing here. And he beats the shit out of Tim Drake and he's like, are you really that great? And Tim Drake does have a baller moment where his face is all bloody, he's getting fucked up, and he's like, yes, I am. It was actually more of a Tim Drake moment than it was a Jason Todd moment. It was just Jason Todd being a sociopath. So for him to have another meaningful interaction with the Teen Titans, him kind of playing Den Mother, that is something I never expected. That is also something I never thought of, which is usually the mark of something at least interesting in a story. I'm cool with that. I'm going to pick this up day one. Plus, having Naruto and Yuji on the same team is, come on. You got to at least root for it. I pray one of them does Shadow Clone Jutsu, please, one time. One time for the kid. We also had some image stuff that popped up. James Tynion is doing a story called Odin. I always pick up James Tynion #1s. Exquisite Corpse is great. Wind was great. I have Something's Killing the Children #1, which is great. I never picked up past issue 1, which I should because I hear it's great. And what is A Department of Truth, another great book. Yo, James Tynion is rolling. He's on a real run. Like, he is an indie rock star. What they're doing over there at Tiny Onion is nuts. They're doing so good that Exquisite Corpses is going to have 3 spinoffs with other characters or other creators working on the characters introduced in that. I mean, he is just going crazy. He is a generator for some of the most profitable and groundbreaking comics that are coming out right now. Who'd have thought the Scott Snyder protege would be this crazy. Yeah, I mean, he's just moving here. It's a shame we're never going to really get him back over at DC and Marvel. He's making way too much money. he's making so much money and making his own schedule and just doing whatever he wants. Like, do y'all remember when he was writing Batman? And towards the end, it was just like he just let loose and had it be one crazy fight after another with Jorge Jimenez. Oh my God, Jorge Jimenez doing the pencils. It was crazy. It was so good. But he scratched that itch, got it out of the system. Now he's on the greener pastures. I can't be happier for him. Shout out James Tynion. You are a legend, sir. Robert Kirkman, who is, as we all know, from Invincible fame and Walking Dead, Void Rivals, just the man. He's got a kind of sort of X-book, kind of sort of. Let's read the article here. Robert Kirkman gets big X-Men creators to help him create Terminal. Terminal, a new comic series by Robert Kirkman alongside Joe Casey, Andy Kubert, David Finch, and Art Adams, announced at Comics Pro. That's a crazy lineup. That's a crazy lineup for one book. That is a generational group of people right there who have helped shape our idea of what we think the X-Men are. There's a bleeding cool image here. So, you know, he was talking some cash cold shit about how, you know, comics right now are too much run by IPs and yada, yada, yada. We need to give a push to creators, and this is part of it. Shout out to him. He's putting his money where his mouth is. But, you know, at the end of the day, Invincible at this point in time is like an IP. It's not just like a cute little indie book. It is a show. From what I hear, it's in development hell, but it's some form of a movie. It's a fighting game. You know, you have a whole bunch of people that really love this series, and it's not just what you wrote in the initial run. You have little offshoots. Shit, Battle Beast is going on right now with Ryan Otley on art. Like, it's an IP, and that's cool. Like, I think we should definitely not have it just be DC Marvel capes. I'm not even saying don't have capes. I'm just saying we shouldn't have it just be DC Marvel with just like Batman. But don't become the thing that you hate. We can't say that The Walking Dead isn't an IP. It had like 4 shows going on at the same time. You know what I mean? And more power to him. I want Kirk. Listen, Robert Kirkman, I want him to get so rich because he always comes back to comics. He's never tried to run away from comics and become like a movie screenwriter or anything. Like, he gives a damn. He gives a fuck. He's always come back and try to make comics interesting and new and have an idea to put a shot in the arm of the consumer. Like, hey, if you guys don't know, as a whole, if your name isn't Robert Kirkman or James Tynion or someone else super popping, it's been kind of hard to sell indie books as of late. You know, times are hard. People really don't know what they want to spend their money on if it isn't Batman or Spider-Man. It's tough. Or Absolute or Ultimate. So Robert Kirkman, being as successful as he is, like, you're the exception to the rule, and I get what you're saying. Like, yo, we can't have IPs be the main drivers, but buddy, you're one of those IPs now, and I think what you want to do is eventually have your book become so successful that it becomes an IP. That's the goal, right? You know? Don't hate the player, hate the game. And you're actually one of the players in the game that's doing pretty well. I'm excited for this book, though. I'm gonna read it. You know, a Robert Kirkman #1. There's always gonna be something at least interesting in it. There's very seldom a Robert Kirkman book that I hate. The guy's a genius. Marketing, story wise, the guys, listen, you can say a lot about him, but you can't say he makes boring shit. But I really want, by the way, just a personal thing here. I would love Firepower to get animated. I'm sure he wants to have live action, to be a kung fu thing, but I think Firepower would be incredible animated. And towards the end, when we get that dragon and shit, like, it would just be much easier to deal with. Please animate that one day. I don't know. That's just a personal thing. If you ever see this, Robert Kirkman, please animate Firepower. I think it would be an amazing animated series. Amazing. But yeah, that's all stuff I really want to talk about that we weren't able to touch in the Dots and Lines pod. It was a good episode. I just got done editing it. Unfortunately, like I said, we couldn't touch all the stuff that came out, like, because we'd have like a 2-3 hour show if we talked about everything. Because the day before we recorded, they released all this new info. I'm not even talking about everything that I actually saw here, because there's even more stuff. Like, there's a Void Rivals expansion, low key, yada yada, yeah. But anyway, that's it. Hope you guys had a great time. Let me know if these little yap sessions are something you want to see more of. I'll be honest with you, I'm going to do more of them anyway, because there's more stuff I want to talk about. All right, goodbye.